Another strategy that you can use to add and subtract fractions is to use models. And so if you're writing these notes directly onto the foldable, you'll write steps 1 and 2 on the top flap and step 3 on the bottom flap. So the first thing we have to do again is to find the common denominator. So as I'm looking at my two fractions that I'm going to be adding, I'm adding 1/3 plus 2/4. So I've got a 3 as a denominator and a 4 as a denominator. So again, the easiest way I found to find the common denominator is to use skip counting. So I've got my table with the 3 and the 4, and I'm just going to skip count. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. And when I look at my table, the first time I have the same number is 12. So that's going to be the number I use as my common denominator. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go and I'm going to model each of the two fractions that I was given. So first I was given 1/3. So I found a fraction model of a circle that was divided into 3 parts, and I'm going to go ahead and shade 1/3. And then I've got another circle, 2/4, so it's broken down into 4 parts, and I'm going to shade 2 of the 4 parts. And then this is where our common denominator comes in. I need a third circle that is divided into 12 parts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my 12-part circle over this, first over the 1/3, and I'm going to shade as many parts of that 12-part circle, and I'm going to rotate it and shade remaining parts with my 2/4. So I'm going to go to the online tool to show you how this works. So we were modeling 1/3 plus 2/4. So to catch up on the tool, I'm going to click on the circle fraction. That brings it up onto my workspace, and I'm going to model a 3-part circle and say okay to that. And then I'm going to shade 1/3 of it. Now I'm going to go back to my circle. I'm going to bring it down just a little, and I'm going to put a second circle, and this is going to be in 4ths. Let's say okay to that, and I want to shade 2/4 of it. Now the next step is to go ahead and get my common denominator as a circle. So I'm going to make a 12-part, that was the common denominator. And then what I'm going to do with my 12-part circle, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it over the 1/3. I'll just make it as an overlay. And I'm going to go ahead and shade what the 1/3 represents on my 12-part circle. Now I'm going to grab the circle and I'm going to drag it over my 2/4. And right now, I've got some shading overlap, so I'm just going to rotate this guy until my 1/3 is not anywhere in the green. And now I'm going to continue shading in my 12-part circle over the green part representing the 2/4. Now I'm just going to go ahead and grab my little 12-part circle, and that's my answer. Everything that is shaded represents 1/3 plus 2/4. And if I go down here to my tag and click tags, it's going to give me the fractions for each one of my circles. So 1/3 plus 2/4 equals 10/12.